Have you got an investment deal via call, text, email, and that deal fit exactly your criteria? It's in the neighborhood where you buy, in good price point, everything checked. However, there is big challenge with the person that's selling that deal or that company that's selling that deal. You have never dealt with them or know about them. So what would you do in this case? Would you still move forward with the deal because it fit your criteria, or you would pass on the deal because you don't know that person or that company? Hey everyone, this is Waleed Yousif. Today we're talking about working with investors, wholesaler, out of state or nationwide wholesalers. So quite often we get emails, call, text from wholesalers who have the deal here in the valley and they wanted to sell it. So, and for the most part, those people, we really have not dealt with them before. We don't know them. We don't know really the history of that company. However, obviously, we're more interested on the deal itself. But still, we wanted to know the person who is selling or the company who's selling, because really that's who we're really dealing with. So the concept of wholesaling is that the person or the company have an agreement with the homeowner, with the seller, and if they decide to exit that contract by just selling that contract to someone else, to other investor who would come in and fix the property for investment, like fix and flip, rental, buy and hold, all that. So then basically what they would do, they would assign it to someone else. So that's basic concept really of wholesaling. Now, the other people, what we're talking more about the out-of-state investors, wholesalers, right? So those people really, they're not local, and they're more could be from out state, right? So they could be California, they could be in New York, they could be Texas, they could be, and basically what they do, they're making deals virtually pretty much in multiple states. So those basically who they are now, what they do, as I said, they have the marketing, they reach out to homeowners via multiple type of marketing that could be online SEO, cold calling, texting. So they still do the same marketing that we also do. However, they reach out to these people only basically virtually. They might have someone on the ground to basically go take pictures or put a lockbox on the house if needed. So it's the same concept. They do the same thing, same marketing to the seller. Then they have the agreement, the contract, and now they wanted to sell and exit that contract by assigning it to other investor or other company. So that's basically the way that they do it. The difference is that everything done virtually, right? They are not local. They're not local here, so they do pretty much everything virtually. They might have someone who would go take pictures, put a lockbox, sign some disclosure documents if any. So that's basically what they do. And again, I want to share with you how we really work with nationwide wholesaler or out-state wholesaler when we buy that property, or we even sometimes assign that property, help them assign those properties, because we're local, we know the market, and we know the best exit strategy for that specific property. So I'll share with you really the good, the bad, and things that you want to be careful and watch out for. So it would be great deal for you and also for them as well. So it's basically win-win for both. They get the deal done, and you also get the deal, and that's exactly what happened with us. Basically, we reach out, we try to make sure that we have just a couple points we wanted to go over, and then basically if everything checked, we work with them till the closing. So here are some challenges we sometimes come across when we work with out-of-state wholesalers, investors. One is that, again, they use some data. However, there are some cities, some markets, it's really hard to use that, right? It could be used, it's completely different city or basically cross neighborhood. So you wouldn't know unless you're local. You would know, well, okay, this neighborhood a flood, or this neighborhood it's not that great neighborhood compared to the other neighborhood. They're underwriting the deal based on wrong or misleading comps, right? So the comps that will be used, it would be, let's just say, even close city or cross street or cross major road. That would be like a different neighborhood, and that would really be on the data, on the numbers will make sense. So as a local investor, right, we would know, okay, that area specifically, what's the ARV, what we can push it for, the repair, the issue, what's going on with it, and to compare it to different properties that don't have the same criteria, it would be a little bit of difficult. So that's something that would be a challenge and would need to really communicate with. Another point is that it's hard to get the appointment, right? So because, as I said, they're really not a local, they would basically use like a notary, or someone would go and put a lockbox on the house. So then when we wanted to go and see the property, they'll send you some pictures, but those pictures really don't show much. So you want to really go in, which that's what we do. We go in person. We make sure that we're checking the property, checking everything, checking the roof, kitchen, the foundation, any issue that we can see. So it's important that we see it. Sometimes it's is that the price would be really tempting to just let's move forward. However, we still wanted to make sure to get the appointment, see that property in person, and we want to make sure everything is clear, especially when we really don't have enough pictures that show that property. And the challenge basically is that because they're really not local, then you would have to basically reach out to them, and then they have to coordinate to basically have everyone interested, or maybe they'll wait until see who's interested and have it really in one appointment, and that would be a little bit of challenge. The title company, right? Because is that, okay, they have multiple states, right? They're working into multiple states. So then to them, really, it wouldn't make sense to have basically title company in local, because that they have to build many relationships with many title companies. Obviously, if they have been in the business long enough, and if they have done quite often deals in that area, then they may have, but for the most part, they don't. So what they basically use is that they would use one also nationwide title company to basically take care of that closing, and that's really also a challenge, because us as an investor, really, we have not dealt with that title company. We really don't know what's the policy, how they work, how is the paperwork taken care of, how the liens taken care of. And that's exactly what happened with us. I would say a couple months ago, we purchased a property from one of the outside wholesalers, from the outside state wholesalers. Great deal. It's in a great area. However, we also had like other projects going. So what we did, we assigned it to one of our investors that we know, who really buy as a flip in that area. And what happened with that investor, they basically they went in, they fixed the property, everything went well. Obviously we closed with them, everything went well. Then later what happened is that after they fixed the property, they put it on the MLS to sell it for first-time family home buyer as like conventional FHA and all that. They got the buyer after they flipped the property. They could not sell it because they found a child support lien that the other title company did not really clear. The challenge really at the beginning when we work with out-of-state wholesalers is that really the trust, right? Because what they're thinking, oh, she may go behind my back and talk to the seller and get the deal from me, right? And from us as an investor, right, we're looking for the good deal. You know, we had other investors went behind our back. So that does happen. But however, we don't want to do that. We want to make sure that we do good by everyone. So we don't have that issue. Screw someone, then really no one's gonna do business in the future. So you might win in the short term with like one deal, but we want to have that transparency and build that good relationship with the other investors, with the other wholesalers, whether they're local or outside of state wholesalers. The process, right? So how is the process that they work? They have just kind of like general process they work with on all deals, right? And in all, basically in multiple states. So that's the process that they basically use. And that could be different from the deals that we do here. So every market in real estate, it's really local based. So it's basically really the challenge that we come across with the other wholesalers, right? So those are the challenges. The majority of them, they work hard. Obviously, it's really difficult to get that. They obviously spend a lot of money on the marketing to get that acquisition, negotiate, get a good deal. So we're not gonna go behind your back. The worst thing that any investor could do is to do that, just to go behind the other investor wholesaler, talk to the seller to get the deal, and basically circumvent the deal. We have it with local title company that if that investor have done a couple of flip or purchase couple investment, have dealt with that title company. Or let's just say if they be like, oh, well, I want to use this title company, all my LLC documents, it's with them, I know them, I trust them. We have done multiple deals locally in that area, most likely that we know that title company, or simply we can just reach out to them and see how is the process, if they would work with assignment, not double close. We'll have the agreement on the price, the EMD, and the closing. Once we basically have that, we would move forward. Sometimes the seller really don't know what's going on, so after they go through the title and see, so that would be kind of like a challenge on the closing of that property. So we have purchased and assigned multiple deals with out-of-state wholesaler companies here in the Valley. First, we would contact them, get that deal. We first want to really making sure that they are the direct to seller. If they're also JVing with the other person, there's really not a problem. We really just wanted to see if they have the information. We have no problem with working with JV with other people. If they put the effort they deserve, they get paid. We want to make sure that we're getting correct information. They have it under contract. It's the contract that they have, that they're direct to seller, and we will go and see it in person. So we want to make sure that to set the appointment to go and see the property in person. We might take also more pictures as well. We want to make sure that it's covered, everything. Again, that would be for us if we decided to take that property. or if that would be for investors that we have in our network, right? So that's the second thing. We want to check the agreement, right? We want to see the agreement that you have with the seller. I usually tell them, we really don't care how much you're making, right? If the price makes sense to us, then you did the effort, you found the deal, you talked to the seller, you provided a solution, then you deserve everything. All the promises, obligations that you made to the seller, you basically assign it to us. So we want to make sure that we get protected on the paperwork, and see what title company that you're using, because that is really where it's going to take it to the finish line. We want to really just see is there any title commitment for it? Can we check it out? Can we see how they work? How is the EMD being processed and all that? So we want to be sure. That's basically what we would have to check with them to have really the agreement, and also would lay it out in the agreement. Let's just say if we made an agreement to as an assignment agreement or a JV agreement, then we will lay it out what would happen for the EMD, what would happen if we don't close. So we want to make sure that projected in the future to see what happened, and everything to be in writing. Everything is in writing, so everyone it's not like he said, she said. So that's basically how we make sure that we all into agreement when we're dealing with out-of-state wholesaler. And that's how we work with nationwide wholesaler. Now, if you are a wholesaler nationwide doing virtually a deal in South Texas, or if you are an investment company that doing deals in South Texas, feel free to reach us. We'll be happy to take a look on that deal and make you an offer on that deal. Now we buy cash deal as is condition, same as you do, and also we buy subject to deals and seller finance deals as well. So if you could, if you have property or you can add us to your list, feel free to do so. I have my information in the description box. Also, if you could like and subscribe to the channel, would be greatly appreciated. Now, if you have any questions, please put them in the comment and we'll be happy to answer them, or you can also reach us as well. Till next time, this is Waleed Yousif. Take care.